We all have been through tough times in our life. Times when we feel like there's nothing going our way, everything seems to be on the highway, where we feel like we're trapped, we're stuck, we feel like there's no way out. Hi, I'm Shikhar Talwar, and I feel like I've been through the same thing. I'd like to share my experience and how I got out of it. So, about a few years ago, when I was in ninth and 10th grade, I went through this phase of getting bullied. Well, not bullied as what you see on TV, but enough to make me cry every night. Now, during this entire phase, no one was really my friend. Those people who were my friends had left me, and those who weren't were not willing to talk to me anymore. I could find different things like my books and my bags in different corners of the entire school, like the bathrooms or different classrooms that I don't belong to. I could even I was called many different names. None of them were my own. And till date, if you go to class 10C and you look at a particular wall, you'll see in a black marker pen written Shikhar sucks. And it stayed there. Now, during this entire phase, I was both literally and figuratively pushed into corners where I was beaten up and beaten down. I had I was made fun of my body language, the way I talk, and everything about me. I was basically made fun of for who I am. In ninth grade, during this entire phase, my grades had dropped. I lost hope in myself. I used to be in the school cricket team. I used to win medals in swimming every year. But then suddenly I just gave up. I didn't want to give any if for say if I fail in doing so this year. I don't want to give anyone the chance to pick on me, to make fun of me in that case. So I gave up both swimming and cricket. And I just didn't want to do anything that puts myself out there in the limelight. And I remember this particular phase where I had hit a new low, where I was sitting on my study table looking outside the window, and suddenly this thought struck my mind. What if I never existed in the first place? Would it change anything? Would anyone feel any kind of difference? And this is when went, oh, wait up. This has gone way too dark. This has gone way too far out of reach. I need to get my life back into my control. And here's when I actually started looking for ways out. Now, I went, like every teenager, I went on YouTube to look like, for a way out. And I didn't end up on meme pages. I actually did some work. And that's where I would like to thank TED itself, where because I came across this one video by one of my favorite comedians called Zakir Khan, where he spoke on the lines of make fun of yourself. And this kind of seemed weird to me at the first glance. It sort of struck my mind. This is new. This is unique. How would this help? But then I said nothing's worked till now. Maybe let's just give this a try. Maybe it'll work. And so I did. From that time on, every time someone would call me ugly, I would just spam their phone with the ugliest faces I could make possible. And if someone would say I'm bad at cricket, the next time I'm batting, the bat would just fly out of my hand, land in the middle of the pitch. I would just shrug my shoulders and say, "You were right. I'm sorry. I suck at batting. I can't help it." And I think most of you noticed till now that I tend to move my hands a lot while I talk. And this, while some guys would term as a very gay behavior, not something a straight boy should do. And that's where I just said that just sad for the LGBTQ community. They won't want me to be a part of them. That's an insult to them. And uh this entire phase, this actually made me feel happy when I was making fun of myself, when I was able to laugh at myself. I let go of certain things. And I have I can't explain exactly why this worked, but I'll try my best to help you understand. See, we all have our faults, we all have our quirks, we all have our differences. And none of us fit in the bracket of being normal, right? And every time we try to fit in the bracket of being normal, we try to put away our differences, we try to put away our quirks, and we end up turning these quirks into insecurities. And when someone notices these insecurities, because obviously they do exist, you're just not trying to let them be in your mind. When they pick on those insecurities, you actually are made to feel worse. They make jokes of those insecurities, you feel like crying from inside. But if you instead make jokes on these insecurities yourself, you actually realize that there's nothing to be sad about. It's not really an insecurity because there's nothing really wrong about you. It's okay to not fall in the bracket of being normal. That's why I advise everyone to do this. That make fun of yourself. Don't try and fit in the bracket of being normal. Don't think that you should be normal. Accept your differences. Make fun of your differences. Because I believe that if once we can make fun of our differences, accept our differences, and not think subconsciously that we are different and yet say that we are all normal, that's when we can all be on the same page and be different, but be different together. And just remove the bracket of being normal. So I'd like to leave you with this finally. Make fun of yourself. Life's not all that bad. Just make fun of your own quirks and you will end up being happy. You'll end up pushing away your insecurities. You'll end up looking at the bigger picture. And that's why you'll actually feel this feeling of happiness that you won't feel any other time. And isn't being happy the best part of our existence?